A man who can speak is more powerful than a man with a sword. That's because a man who can speak properly has the power to influence those with might and power. I really think that's a great quote to start this video with, or this episode with. And I just have a couple things to say before I get into the nitty-gritty of it. So if you could equip yourself with this one thing that these powerful people have, such as Marcus Aurelius, Jordan Peterson, who is my modern day hero, Jesus Christ himself, actually, who we're going to be talking about in this episode, and also Alexander the Great, you not only become more powerful, but also you have the power to influence those with millions. This powerful tool that I'm talking about is the power of speech. Learning how to communicate is by far one of the most powerful skills that any man can equip himself with. You will require it in every field, and I repeat, in every single field you step into. And I'm going to be helping you master that skill today in this episode, mastering the art of communication. What is up, gentlemen? Welcome to Strive a Man's podcast. I'm your host, Longatia, and in today's episode, we're going to be studying how to master the art of communication. Our mission is simple and clear: to build the next generation of men and women the world desperately needs. If you want to take your personal development journey to the next level, I highly encourage that you subscribe to the channel. I really think that is a very great move. And also, you can listen to us on Spotify, Strive a Man's podcast. So let's get into the episode in 3, 2, and 1. So over the course of this video or this episode, I'm going to be mentioning some of the key figures that have really influenced my journey into improving my speech. And some of them are fictional, from TV series and also from history, and also as well as modern day people who have really inspired me to improve my speech. And the first one is Thomas Shelby from the very famous movie Peaky Blinders. The first thing that I can tell you about improving your communication is something I learned from him. He really took his time before speaking. He was never in a rush. He never said anything in a rush. Even in high stakes situation, he always took his time to talk. You can always see him taking a cigar, lighting it up, staring into someone's eye even before he uttered a word. And that is because the Shelby brother was very confident in himself. He was never really in a rush, or was never pressured into speaking and filling those voids that most people in modern day really have. They always have this pressure of filling this void. And this first step is about just embracing the power of silence. When you take your time to respond, it gives off this aura of confidence. It also introduces a sense of curiosity, because most people are really tuned in, not tuned in, but they really what is it called? You see, when you take your time to respond, it gives this aura of confidence. It allows you to introduce this aspect of curiosity and makes people lean in, because people are used to fast responses. People are used to filling those gaps quite fast. But if you're the person who doesn't do that, what you say becomes more powerful. So the first thing is embrace the power of silence. Never be pressured to fill in that void. Never be pressured to think that you'll be cut off. If they cut you off mid-conversation, that's okay. Just stay quiet. Take your time before you respond. And this gives you the time to really arrange what you're going to say. And what you're going to say is going to sound more accurate, more effective, and it's going to be more impactful. And also, you're going to be able to give this aura of confidence that makes people lean in more. Hence, your communication style will be more powerful. So that's the first step. So after you've embraced that, the next thing is speak less. Use as little words as possible. So I had this friend who had this habit of explaining things. When he was asked a question, he could give an entire speech, a really long speech, before he really got to the point. So he started point A, went to point C, point D, before he got to point B. But he could have just gone from point A to point B. Meanwhile, there was a guy who spoke less. He didn't say a lot. And in the end run, what he said sounded more powerful. That's because the less words you use, the more impactful your message. So let's just do a quick exercise. I wrote it down, so I didn't really have it in mind. I just wrote it yesterday to really dive deep into what I'm talking about. So here's a small exercise. So just listen to these two sentences and just tell me how you feel about them. You can just go in the comments and tell me how you feel about them. So the first one is this. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that I think we should take a different approach. So that's the first sentence. So instead of saying something like that, you can say this. Let's try a different approach. I'm proposing we start a we I'm proposing we try a different approach. Do you really feel how different those things are? Those are they're the same sentence, also promoting the same goal. They have the same goal, which is to suggest something, but which is more impactful? Which sounds more powerful? The second one. That's because I use less words. When you use less words, you sound more sure. When you use more, you sound more unsure. So if you want to develop more clarity and be more direct with what you say, if you want to really command, um, if you want to really command with your speech, try using as less words as possible. That's why also saying less is saying more, because some people talk and people really listen to what they want to listen. But if you're the person who just says less, everything you say is heard, and hence your speech becomes more impactful, and also you'll command more respect. And also, by the way, the person we were talking about, the person who was over explaining things, who was talking a lot, yada 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 yada, that was me. it took it took me being embarrassed in front of not 500 people, no, 50 people in order to learn that lesson. So don't over explain things. Just keep it simple and your message will hit harder at home. So the second one is say less. The first thing was embrace the power of silence, never be pressured to say something. Number two, say less, speak less, and use less words. The next thing is expand your vocabulary or building your word bank. Have you ever found yourself in this situation where you have a million things that you want to say? You have this point in your head, but you don't really have the words to say them. So that was the same situation that I had around 6 months ago when I really took time. I think if you listen to the episodes that I've been releasing, you can understand or you can really hear that I took time this last 6 months to really improve myself because I knew I wanted to start a podcast. So I really dive deep into those areas that I wanted to improve upon so I can share them with you. And I think it really worked. So over the course of those 6 months, I developed a practice of seriously relearning a lot of things with regards to words and structuring of sentences. So it started off as 4 weeks, and I really saw the results after 4 weeks. What I did is 10 minutes a day, I read something. I started reading a lot. Okay, not a lot, but in those 10 minutes, I've developed this ability of reading quite fast and grasping quite fast. So every day, 10 minutes, I learn something new. And you learn new words, you learn how sentences are constructed. And as you move along, your subconscious mind really starts taking in all this information. It says, okay, I don't have something to say, so I can add this. That's what building your word bank is. You'll never lack something to say. Also, you never lack things to talk about because you're reading a lot. So everything that you say can be intertwined with another topic, and it makes you all overall a more interesting person. So reading more is very, very impactful. It helps you build that word bank, helping you develop that ability to never lack something to say, and also never lack the ability to talk about a certain thing and never lack the words to explain a certain topic. So take your time to read at least 10 minutes a day. I don't like books. Honestly, I don't like books at all. I think I blame AI for that. I saw a certain, what is it called? I saw a certain episode from Mark Mason, who I highly recommend that you follow, about AI and how it has ruined people. People are very impatient these days. They want to get information quite fast, and I really think I'm a victim of that. That's why I don't read books a lot. I'm not disciplined to read books a lot. I really take my time to finish. It took me a very long time to finish this book, around 3 months. I'm not kidding. But with articles, I get through like 3 articles in less than 30 minutes and grasp all that I need to know. And with that, it helps me develop my word bank. I learn how to structure new sentences. I never lack anything to say and how to explain things. So dive deep, just take 10 minutes a day to build your word bank or expand your lexicon, as the English people say. But don't be overcomplicated with yours. Just use less words and just use the common words, but also try to really integrate those nitty gritty, those uh, over the top words to make your speech sound more classy and also very effective. Not effective, but very sweet to listen to, for lack of a better word. So the next thing is more of a skill than an activity that you need to do is you need to start listening like a therapist. Listening is one of the greatest skills in tandem with speech because most people don't listen. But if you listen, you can really get the subtext of a lot of things. And a person I've learned a person who does that very very well is Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson, in his interviews, in his podcast that he does, he really takes his time to listen to what this person is saying. He was never in a rush to interrupt. He really dives deep into trying to understand what is this person saying. And in that, it gives him the ability to be able to answer things quite accurately. He knows what to say, he has the words to say them, and he uses less words as possible to be able to make his point come across very, very well. He's never in a rush to talk, and with that, it gives his speech more power. It sounds more powerful. Another thing under listening like a therapist, like, and it's the same thing, but also it's a subtopic under that, is filler words, the arms, the likes, the or, the those filler words. I think we know all of them. It's bred from a place of uncertainty from the speaker. They haven't really understood what they're talking about. Sometimes it can come from a place of lacking confidence. Like right now, all I'm doing right now is improvisation. I'm trying to improve my communication by improvising everything that I say. I just have notes right here on my laptop. Here, sorry. I just have notes. I'm looking at them and trying to improvise everything. So that's why maybe my communication style right now is quite different from the other videos which are scripted. So I'm trying to improve my improvisation style to really see have I really understood this topic quite much. So you can just tell me, you can just go to the comments and tell me about that, whether I'm explaining things quite well or I really need to continue diving deep into it. So filler words come from a place of uncertainty from the speaker and also from a place of lacking confidence. But most of the time is a place from uncertainty. They don't really understand what they're saying. And really trying to understand what you're saying comes from a place of number one, listening to who is speaking, number two, diving deep into what you're saying. And a person who I can really direct you to is Jesus Christ himself. He he was a great and excellent communicator. I want to believe that from what I have read. From what I've read, I want to believe that Jesus Christ is an excellent communicator because he never really showcased any more power than he needed to. What he did to influence people was number one, the miracles. Number two was talking. He talked a lot. He didn't do a lot of miracles. He did more of talking than miracles. I can say that. I can say that. Also, we can argue that the miracles were more, and that is what really influenced people. That I want to stand on the ground and say Jesus Christ was an excellent communicator, and it's not because he had divine blood coursing through his veins. No, 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 not at all. It's because at a young age, at the age of 12, he really studied the scripture. Scripture was in his fingertips. He knew it to the bone. That's why he could be able to respond to criticisms quite well. He could answer questions quite well. He could be able to handle situation with just speaking quite well. That's why he could influence 5,000 people with just his speech. Also, we don't forget the miracles that he did, but I want to lean on the aspect of speaking and communication. He really understood what he was saying. So if you want to remove those filler words, those places of uncertainty, lacking something to say, make sure you really understand what this person is saying by what you're talking about by number one, listening to the speaker. Number two, developing the ability to study what you're talking about. So, the last thing is overcoming the fear that most people have through deliberate practice. And I mean deliberate. There's practice and there's deliberate practice. You could have done all that I've just said right now, but there's still this lingering fear, this anxiety, this overthinking that is usually in you. I want to help you overcome that. And the best way that I've learned to overcome that is through deliberate practice. This is the hardest technique. This is where everything that you learn comes into play. And there's a thing I do to improve my communication, especially as an actor. I'm an actor. And if any of you want to watch some of my films, I haven't done a lot. I've done like two. Another one is just upcoming. Two of them are just upcoming. I've done like two, a few episodes here and there, so you can just go and see them if you're interested. I'll just leave a link down below. Um, Something that I've used, a practice that I've used to really improve my communication in my daily life, in talking with this podcast, although I'm not the best, but I'm still trying. And also with acting, especially with acting, is this practice called, it doesn't have a name. I don't have a name for it. It's just a simple practice that I have. And it has really helped me a lot with articulation, my rhythm, my speed, being comfortable with silence, and yeah, basically a lot of things. Everything that I've learned over the course of a week, 4 weeks, or for with regards to communication, I've really put into practice. I've really put them into practice using this structure or this practice. Sorry, kind of repeating myself there, so just forgive me. And this practice goes like this. So instead of journaling, I think some of you watching this journal, you write down a lot of things in the course of your day, something happened, yada, 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 something like that. So instead of writing, I usually journal, but now I just record everything. That's the first thing. Every day, it really, sometimes I just don't do it. I just record myself something like this about a certain topic, which is another thing I'm going to be talking about. But something that I do every single day is a simple practice, a small practice, a 10 minute or even a 5 minute day practice is I record myself journaling. Does that make sense? I just record journal, if there's something like that. I don't have a word for it, but I just record journal. Let's just call it like that for the sake of lacking words right now. I think I just need to do more research, as you've said right now. Um, I take my time, I implement everything that I know, and just talk about my day. And I just keep it as short as possible. Say less words, be comfortable in silence, and do all those practices that I've just mentioned right now. Over time, I found out that my speech is improving, although not the best, but it's still improving. I can find myself talking in public places quite well, quite comfortably, because I'm comfortable with the silence. I know what I need to do in the situation where I find myself maybe stammering, maybe feeling nervous. I know what to do because I deliberately practice. It was something that I was doing every single week. But right now, not every single week, every single day, but right now, what I do is every week I have a certain topic that I want to study, I want to really understand. And last week's topic was about four acting tips that I wanted to really understand. So after learning them, after really studying them, at the weekend, I just took 15 minutes and started talking about that specific topic. And from now on, I've really switched it up, and I'm going to be freestyling most of my podcast. I'm not going to be scripting anything. I'm just going to be studying everything, writing everything down. Like the way you study for a test to really understand it, that's the same way I'm going to be doing the podcast to be able to improve my communication style. So deliberate practice is key. And also if you have this problem of not articulating your words well, there's a certain word that you don't say properly. Um, a practice that I use to improve it or to work on that specific area is I usually take a pen and place it in between my mouth like this and start talking and articulating every single word well. Over time, you'll find it easier to say those difficult words like phenomenon. I don't. Maybe there's some people who don't have the ability to say phenomenon well, but I'm not judging you. I was also in the same place. So placing this pen in between your teeth like this helps you pronounce and articulate every single vowel and syllable to be able to make your words heard quite well. But the most important thing is going out there and starting to speak. Going out there, as I've said, I wanted to make an example with this video because this is the first video I'm really going off script and just improvising everything, just trying to fish out knowledge from my own word bank, from the things that I have researched about this video, and try to inspire you to do the same thing. You don't have to be perfect. I'm not perfect right now. I hope you're enjoying it so far, but if you're not, just go down in the comments and I'll respond to it. Maybe there's something that you haven't understood. Maybe there's something that you don't like about me improvising. You can help me improve it so it can help the quality of the videos be better. But the main goal of this video was to really inspire you to get yourself out there and improve your speech. If you know how to speak, you'll be more attractive. Doors will be opened, and in every single area you'll see more dominance. Do you know, if you speak, you sound so smart? Even if you don't know a lot, you sound smart, and people will respect you more because when you speak, they don't know if you don't know. They don't know if you don't know. The only person who doesn't know, the only person who knows who doesn't know is you. So you can just fill that void. Although it's not about pretense, it's about elevating yourself to this certain point. Even if you don't know, if you communicate in a certain way, it will give off this aura of uh, wisdom, knowledge, someone of high standard because you know how to communicate. So get yourself out there, go, not go read, just get yourself out there, start talking to people, start random conversations with people. I swear, there was a time after high school, I went for a short course for like 3 months, and every single day I had a goal of speaking to 3 people for at least 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Because in high school I was a bit of an introvert, but I was speaking to a lot of people, but I wanted a new challenge. I wanted to challenge myself and go out because most people knew me, with no bragging at all. Most people knew me, so it was easy to start conversations with them. And I wanted to place myself at a challenging point to really see where my communication skills could go. So every single day, for at least 2 minutes, speak to not for at least 2 minutes. Make sure you're talking for 2 minutes with at least 3 people. That was my goal. It helped me a lot to know how to maneuver, what to do, what to say, what not to say. Because most of the time I was doing a lot of public speaking in high school, but I don't have that platform right now. Maybe this, but I didn't really have that platform at that moment. So talking to people is by far the best way, especially with ladies. If you can talk to ladies quite well and quite confidently, my dude, you are super okay, because most guys are afraid of talking to women. So if you can place yourself in that position to at least talk to 3 people every single day, it can be ladies, can be men, I don't really care, it doesn't really matter. Just place yourself in that situation, start talking to them, learn what you need to learn, implement some of the things that I've just mentioned in this video and in this episode, and over time, it might take you 6 months, it might take you 1 month, it might take you 4 weeks, it might take you 3 days, it doesn't really matter, we're all different, but over time, deliberate practice is what matters. So get yourself out there, do it all, and just remember, I am rooting for you. Thank you so much for watching this episode. I hope you're inspired. This is me improvising everything from the start of the video to from minute 1 to minutes, I don't know which minute this is, but hope you're inspired. I myself taking that opportunity to use this platform to be able to improve my communication, and I really hope it inspires you to do the same thing. So get yourself out there, don't be afraid. If you mess up, fine. Who really cares? You can always try again. So cheers and God bless. Bye bye, my dudes.